Things are starting to heat up, and it's time to start talking about the hot tags. What's going on this week in wrestling? A couple different stories. One of them, WWE is apparently high on Aksana out of everybody.
They're
Triple
high on
H and
fucking heroin if they think that.
the story going around is that Triple H, amongst other people, think that she's got something, quote, very special to her.
Big boobs.
What? She is
Undefinable
awful.
accent.
A booty
Sexy
that won't
curves.
quit.
She's the second most useless diva that they have. By
Who's the
far.
most useless?
Well, the other useless diva ended up cleaning up, so they can't do anything with her.
Not to jump ahead, but if we want to claim that she's cleaning up, then she might not be having that many drinks with Michael Hayes.
Oh,
Before we get into that, though, let's talk about the Aksana thing. Why would WWE be high on Aksana? What the hell is she showing them that is useful for the future?
No, I think is that she's actually not a human. She's a plant, and they're just pulling off little pieces of her and smoking her and getting high. That's what the story is.
Maybe that's
why
what
this is
RVD
news.
is going to be doing on his time off.
she's having threesomes with Triple H and Stephanie.
No, spending a lot of time getting high with Aksana, or high on Aksana.
Ew, RVD, Triple H, and Stephanie is just the grossest threesome I could ever picture.
Now there's a great visual for everybody listening to this. It's going to stand the test of time for this number.
I'll one up you. Anything with Bastion Booger.
Oh,
Bastion Booger, and Bastion Booger.
The Bastion Booger, Bertha Faye, and TL Hopper.
Wait, Bastion Booger, Bull Nakano,
And Michael Cole.
and Naked Midian.
can Big Daddy V be the bed?
Oh god, this is just getting so bad. Let's move on to the Rosa Mendes one, the most useless diva out of the company. Michael Hayes has been suspended indefinitely for drinking with Rosa Mendes. Some reports have said that he offered her a drink after she just got done with rehab. Others are saying that he was just drinking with her. Either way, WWE realized that this is not the right way to do things. So they told him to go to the hell home, and in the meantime, Road Dogg is filling in and apparently getting a lot of praise from doing a good job. So who knows? Maybe they're going to end up looking at Michael Hayes as kind of a pain in the ass and give this job to James instead.
I could say that Michael Hayes is definitely not part of Triple H's crew, and as Triple H grows his influence in the company, he's certainly trying to input as much of his crew as possible. So, yeah, I could definitely see Road Dogg taking this spot away from Michael Hayes, and this was all just convenient timing for it.
Kind of looking for an excuse to do it. Now they have one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair,
Bye-bye,
if he was
birdie.
offering drinks, that's a little bit of a ridiculous thing to do to somebody just coming out of rehab, if that's actually true.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's because Rosa used to suck him off. Now she's sober. She actually realizes that he's a very unattractive man.
I think it's kind of funny. One of the first episodes, might have been the first one, it might have been the second one of Smack Talk, was right when they had that thing going on where I think it was Chris Masters was insinuating that Rosa is only on the roster because she sucks a lot of dick backstage, basically. And all signs kind of pointed to Michael Hayes. So, convenient
Well.
timing here.
Yeah, she lives by the Freebird rule.
The free ball rule.
Some other person that we're going to talk about here, Damien Sandow. No transition whatsoever for this, but he was told to stop doing his cartwheels because of Aiden English, one of the NXT wrestlers. And the mentality is that if you have somebody on the main roster do something that the NXT people are doing, that it looks kind of bad. I don't understand that really.
No, I don't understand the cartwheels. I did see them mention the singing, kind of like when Randy Orton would come to the ring and do parodies of people's songs.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand him not doing that anymore because, yes, Aiden English is a current NXT star who comes out and sings an operatic tune on his way to the ring. And it's absolutely freaking awesome. He's one of my favorite guys to watch in NXT right now, which I've been trying to be more consistent with watching. It's free on Hulu now. You have no excuse not to be watching NXT people, so get on it.
I don't get Hulu.
I don't get it either.
Well, Americans, people who live in a real country, you can do it. But I can understand that. You don't want to have gimmicks crossing over. I don't understand the cartwheel thing, though. I mean, I think maybe they just don't want him doing a cartwheel because they're trying to make him taken more seriously. But if that's the case, don't have him lose so much.
Yeah, I actually love the cartwheels. I want them to bring that back.
It was cool when they did it with Cody because they did the little handshake into it, but other than that, it's yeah.
It's not going to make or break his character, but why not?
I noticed
give
he's
him a
not
little bit
wearing.
more?
I noticed he's not wearing his fruity colors as much anymore either. He's wearing more black trunks and
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that.
They're slowly stripping away his gimmick.
yeah.
They're really hurting his credibility. So might as well
his
hurt his gimmick at the
credibility
same
was
time.
hurt a long time ago.
That's
Because
what
this
happens
is
when you win
what
Money in the Bank.
It bugs me with some people's like they take away everything that made the person recognized to the level that they wanted that person to be at, and then it just leaves them as a shell of their former self.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you have heard this, but there are rumors that the beginning of this week's SmackDown is like the start of a face turn for him, possibly.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And I'm like, that could be like the worst possible thing I've ever heard. I don't think he possibly translate well into a face. I think that's like almost career death sentence to him. His talents lie in keeping the character he has.
The only way I could see him turning face is so that he could have a really hot heel turn in about 6 months and make him a big deal again.
Unlike Del Rio,
Yes, exactly.
where somebody actually gives a shit about him.
Look,
Because
you
Del
could
Rio
even put
blows.
hot sauce on Del Rio to make him hot again because it would work. It was too bland.
Speaking of Del Rio, John Cena is going to return at Hell in a Cell and wrestle Del Rio. There's absolutely nothing leading into this except they just were like, John Cena's back, so give him a title match. And we don't want to have him in the Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton one, so let's put him in with Del Rio. And as much as I hate that, I want John Cena to win this so fucking bad, so we don't have Del Rio as champion anymore. But it's still going to suck that even if he does win, which I actually, right now, I would assume that he would, we probably will just get another fucking rematch at Survivor Series because they love Del Rio in the world title scene.
Don't you think it
Del
could be
Rio's
that Cena's got the title for him to lose it to say, I don't know, the Money in the Bank holder? Damien Sandow?
No, I don't see it.
Make him uber legitimate by doing it. Imagine getting a pinfall over Cena. Wouldn't harm Cena whatsoever.
I don't think that they'll end up doing that.
No, I think he's going to have it to lose it to Brock Lesnar.
Really?
Brock Lesnar's going to get the world title.
Yeah.
I would love that.
You remember that whole segment where he went into Triple H's office and he was looking at the belt and holding it on, trying it for size? I think there was a little bit more to that than just passing by.
Huh. Now, where do you think that that'll end up leading for WrestleMania?
That's a really good question.
I
don't know where any of these guys are going to end up because either John Cena or Brock Lesnar, I think, are prime opponents for Undertaker next year. Really, there's not even anybody else. Maybe like a Sheamus or a Ryback could go in there too, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. I've been kind of going back and forth between a couple different combinations where you got to have Undertaker, Sheamus, Ryback, maybe Goldberg. I really don't put a whole lot of stock into those scoops. And Brock Lesnar in some kind of capacity. Either we get Sheamus and Lesnar and Ryback and Undertaker, or Undertaker and Lesnar and Sheamus and Ryback, or it's got to somehow combine those. Maybe Sheamus and Undertaker and Ryback and Lesnar, but I think those four are going to be combined with each other. And if Brock Lesnar is the champion at the time, I can't see them doing Undertaker.
No, if Brock Lesnar is the champion, whoever is the champion will not be facing the Undertaker. They're going to make 3 matches that they can promote big. It's always the 2 title matches and the Undertaker's match. They're not going to combine that and lose that extra marquee spot.
I'm thinking 4 this year because of the Triple H thing. I'm still thinking, I mean, this is months ahead of time and everything, but I'm still thinking John Cena's role isn't going to have anything to do with the world title. I think he's going to be facing Triple H.
Yeah, could be.
Again?
Mm-hmm. I think we're getting Triple H and John Cena for a power struggle of the company. Undertaker and Lesnar, Sheamus and Ryback, or Randy Orton involved somewhere into that. Maybe even a triple threat, but I doubt that.
Where does The Rock go?
I don't think The Rock's going to be in it.
What does The Rock say?
And I don't know why, but I'm really thinking that we're going to get CM Punk against Daniel Bryan. I have no clue why, but I got that feeling about that. And world title, I think they're going to just throw that shit away. If it's not Sheamus and Ryback
with Punk
whatever.
and Bryan, do you think it's going to be a title match or just like a match that's kind of like the lower of the big 4 matches?
I think it's going to be WWE title.
Yeah? You just think that's going to be their main title match?
One of them wins the Royal Rumble. and goes on to face the other one.
Do you
Yeah,
think
Punk's
it'd be
never
kind
won a
of?
Rumble, has he?
Nope.
No, he has not. Do you think it's going to be kind of like a Mania 19 situation, whereas even though it's not like the biggest match on the card, like in terms of star power, it's still going to be the two guys in the title match that kind of close the show, or do you kind of see something else taking the main event spot over them?
John Cena, Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
100%. Yeah, there's no way that they're going to leave that WWE title as opposed to the Triple H Vince McMahon thing, especially if it is John Cena. I mean, we're not going to
And
have
Triple
somebody
H.
totally random like Justin Gabriel in it, but that'd be hilarious if if this is what this is building up to, Justin Gabriel's giant push
Against Jinder Mahal, who's going to win the Royal Rumble.
as a babyface.
Yeah.
Moving on from that a little bit, the last thing that I really wanted to talk about this week, Monday Night Raw. I mean, we ran it down on the post show, which you can check that out on Mega Powers Radio. Awful episode, and it ended up scoring the lowest rating of the entire year. Now, I don't know shit about ratings and all this kind of the number crunching. Apparently, if you do understand it, these are the numbers. They went from a 2.68 to a 2.65, which doesn't seem like it's much of a drop. And the viewership actually went up from 3.58 million to 3.706 million. So the viewership went up, but the rating itself went down. And I'm kind of surprised because I would assume that it would be that much worse considering how awful Battleground was. What do you guys think?
I didn't really watch. I missed the first hour, so I can't really vouch on that. But the other two that I seen when I got back, terribly dreadful show. I mean, well, I'm not going to waste a whole bunch of time on it, but apparently Big Show's music can play despite the fact that he's fired and announced to the whole audience that the guy who's fired is coming back to make a run in at the end of the night.
I think secretly Dixie's writing the storylines.
Maybe.
Or maybe the Big Show just likes to have his music played, and before he went to the ring, he just threatened to knock out the sound guy unless he played it.
I'd play his music for him. I want him to be knocked out.
Or better yet, maybe he held him up with his gun.
Yes.
I knew that had to get in there somewhere.
Or Sin Cara was just doing his music.
But he got it right.
If you guys want to know more about what our thoughts are for Monday Night Raw, go back, check out that Monday Night Raw post show because, man, we ran that shit down. That was awful.
As far as the rating, I mean, it's yes, the Raw was shitty, but I think that's more due just because of the low energy after that awful Battleground pay-per-view, which we're gonna talk about that. Yes, we're gonna teach that pay-per-view a lesson.
We have the honor of digging through it.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break here in part 3, and we're going to come back around in part 4 and start talking about Battleground, so watch out.